Okay, guys, this is a public service announcement. Don't mess with black nerds. They're smarter than you. They're more prepared than you. They're better researched than you. So if you want to come racist, be prepared for the aftermath. This young man was literally doing his TikTok about Pokemon cards, and a white racist man decided he wanted to jump all into his live and get all the way racist. Hard R.
Glad I could finally make a stream. My favorite set is Surging Sparks, and I was curious how you like being Section 8 monkey. Why am I being called a Section 8 monkey? We can get Pokemon cards with food stamps now. Why? What is with the racism while I'm trying to open Pokemon cards? I'm literally at the last pack. Like, damn, if you would let me finish. Wasn't bad enough you had to take basketball from us. Now you want Pokemon. How about you stick to something your people invented, such as cannibalism? That wasn't us. Why is there so much racism in the Pokemon community? I just went on live, right? And I'm sitting here minding my business, just organizing some cards. And this guy joins the panel and he's like, oh, I have cards. Can you help me figure out if they're worth anything? I'm like, for sure. I pull up the website. I ask him like, okay, show me what you have. He turns on his camera. And then this is what happens next. What's on the, okay. And what are the numbers at the very bottom, on the very, very bottom of the card? Right here, what do these numbers say?
It's in.
Dude, are you serious? Why are you like this?
It's
No, but seriously, but why are you like this?
And here's what happened next.
To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who turns 2 next week and her mother who's going to have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired. And when you're working the graveyard shift in an Amazon warehouse and your back hurts and your feet hurt and those white bright lights are beating down on you and the teenager who still has his life ahead of him walks up to you and says, what are you doing here? Tell him the truth. Tell him about me.
Damn.
The brother's name is Tamo, T-A-M-O, or Nora Tamo. I'm going to put his information below so y'all can follow him. He's gotten to 300,000 followers in like 48 hours based on the response to his devastating response. But I'm going to put his information below because y'all should follow him. Get him to 1 million followers. He deserves it. All right, Youngblood, nephew, you did that.
All right, so I need 2 groups to pull up to the scene real quick. White folks and Africans, it don't matter what order y'all pull up, just pull up, right? I want to sit up there and speak directly to the Africans first. This is exactly why when it deals with black Americans, we talk about race. This is why we always bring it up, because this young man was sitting up here minding his business on TikTok, simply on Pokemon cards. He ain't talking about no news stories. He's not talking about religion. He ain't even mentioning white people. The white boy pulled up to the scene when the young black man told him to pull up. He's like, yo, okay, no problem. Let me help you with your cards. I can figure out and help you out if it's worth something so that you can get some money directly from it. Again, this is how black Americans naturally are, but we're starting not to be that no more. And you can only thank one demographic for that, as you can clearly hear and see directly in that video. And as he proceeded to do it, he was like, yo, let me know what the numbers are directly on the bottom. You know what the white boy decided to do? He wanted to spell out a racial slur. Now, for any white people directly out there, let me know why, as a white man, he would decide to spell out a racial slur. And I'm not trying to hear nobody sit up there and tell me that, oh, you're generalizing and you're this. I don't got no time for that, dog. I miss me with all of that. Y'all say the same regurgitated stuff time and time again because y'all refuse to take responsibility for the white kids that you raise that become racist, and they want to spread that racism that they learned in home and from their ecosystem and from schools. They want to spread that online. Like I said, y'all not brave enough to say that exact same thing into a face of a black man that's out there in public. Y'all ain't brave enough to do that to a group of black men because you know better. You know exactly what's going to sit up there and happen. You are not about that life at all. This is why y'all want to sit up there and do stuff. Y'all want to make some prank calls. Y'all want to sit up there and send emails. Y'all want to send text messages. Y'all want to say stuff on Xbox Live, on PSN. Y'all want to type stuff on PC. Y'all want to come up on Black Lives, and y'all want to do all of this nonsense because you live in the basement. You are basement dwellers at the end of the day. You are straight neckbeards at the end of the day. You're not about that life. This young black man was simply trying to do something that is wholesome, something that he loves to do, something that I grew up with, which is Pokemon cards. And he created a platform just by doing this. Like I said, I haven't seen a full platform, but for the most part, that he is just simply opening up packs, and people are enjoying that, and they are watching that, and everybody can literally consume that and leave with some type of happiness feeling. That's doing God's work right there. That's allowing people to relax and just not really deal with other things in the world, right? He made a spot where people can just be and just, whatever, just have a simple conversation that don't have to do with anything else in the world. And you come here to sit up there and ruin that. And you thought it was funny because you were going to go back to some of your little groups of your little online friends and stuff, because more than likely you recorded it. Look what I did to the black, right? And then you were going to spin that all throughout the web, right? And then we were going to later on see that on X. But it didn't work out the way that you thought it was going to work out, because you were dealing with somebody that was very, very smart, very, very intelligent, somebody who was going to be like, you know what? This is the type of games that you want to play. No problem. Right? You want to sit up there and hit low. We can take this to the earth's core. And that's exactly what he did. He went from the internet to now home. He went directly to your front door. Now you got to deal with the situation. And you got a daughter too. You got a daughter? You got a daughter. Ooh, white boys out there. Why do y'all do this to yourselves? Y'all know that y'all ain't living the way that y'all supposed to be sitting up here living. You in the military too? You got a daughter? And your mother passed away? Oh man, that gotta be tough. They gotta be, like I said, I don't know how, whatever basically happened, but I'm going by what was basically listed in the video. Somebody's gonna have to take care of that little girl, because you are not gonna have the money. To a lot of the white boys, to a lot of the white folks directly out there, y'all need to keep y'all kids under management. Y'all need to teach your folks how to mind their business. Like I said, y'all wonder why it is that we always talk about race. You are the reason why. We can mind our business. We can actually ignore race realistically and not have to focus in on it. But somehow, some way, you guys eke and creak your ways directly into our spaces just to let us know that you exist, because you can't sit there idly by yourself and just sit there and just be with self. You don't know what being alone is. This is why you cause chaos all throughout the world in the streets, because you don't know how to just sit still. Like I said, y'all the main ones that need to be on some of these hypertension or whatever it is medications directly out here. Like y'all don't know what nothing is. Like, that's crazy. That's diabolical in nature. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, realistically, what realistically is wrong with y'all? Huh? That's diabolical in nature. But to the Africans, right? I want to specifically say these are the reasons here why we need y'all to just shut up. This is why y'all need to just mind y'all business. This is why you need to stay out of Black American business, because y'all don't know what it is that we have to go through and keep going through. You don't know what it's like to always consistently be on a form of defense/attack, and how tiring and exhausting that is. But you don't have time to actually take into account how tiring and exhausting it is, because you have to stay at that 100% every single day. Because the moment in time you let that guard down, like this young man did, that's when they attack. That's when they show up. That's when they want to sit up there and do all of this racist type of stuff to try to steal and take energy directly away from you. Like I said, you Africans don't know nothing about that. The rest of y'all out here don't know nothing about that. Y'all got the nerve to show up on an Asian man's platform by the name of Jubilee, and you want to tell black Americans as an African that we need to stop using the word racism and stop talking about racism. We need to make that invisible and just focus and seek out what it is that we want. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you deaf? Do you not know anything when it deals specifically with America and how it is that black people are a fixture here? We are woven. We are the fabric. We are the quilt. We are just it. That's why we are the most hated here. They can say whatever it is that they want to sit up there and say, but they know they cannot put us anywhere because we are established here. Because they're the ones that did it. Better yet, we were already here first, but that's a story for a whole different time. But like I said before, just going by the history, right? They're the ones that did it. Going by the black and white, going by the history, going by the books that we all read, during school. They're the ones that sat up there and did it. So if anybody's going to sit up there and talk about racism and say when racism is done and when we can put it to bed and when it's tired and we're done with it, it's black Americans that's going to say it. I need Africans and many other people to just shut up. This is not your lane. This is not your business. If you want a lane and you want your own business, I need you to go directly right back home. That's specifically what you need to sit up there and do. Don't ever in your life decide that you have whatever facilities that need to be held to hold this conversation, because you can't. Not no power within your ancestors or your generation can you ever sit up there and tell black Americans that we need to forget about racism and just ignore white people. You don't have anything. Your ancestors cannot help you on this. They can't give you no information because they don't know nothing about that. Better yet, your ancestors are the main reasons that we're here, right? If we're going by the black and white, if we're going by how historically everything went, right? Y'all should be the last people on the planet Earth to try to tell black people anything, because you're the reasons that we are even here. If we're going by history, if we're going by how it is that you dictate and decide to tell a lot of stuff directly out here, I need y'all to shut up. I need you to shut up 1000%. And like I said, that goes directly to both groups. Two peas of the same pod, and y'all both like to sit up there and play these games. It's some crazy work out here. But at the end of the day, both of y'all somehow, some way try to make black Americans out to be the problem. I promise you there's somebody white out there and there's somebody African out there trying to say this young black man took it too far. Really? Because he was the one that was called a racial slur. So he decided to let him know that you don't do those things. And if you do, there's going to be certain consequences that you're going to have to own up to as a man. And I promise you, there's a lot of people out here body blocking for that racist. That clearly lets me know that you side with racists and you are a racist. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no babies. You just are what it is that you are. The moment in time that you body block for nonsense like this, that you are clearly able to see. There is no reason in all of life for a person to come to somebody else's platform, home, place of peace, wherever they think it create, and you decide to come up here and be racist. That's crazy. So like I said before, freedom of speech has consequences. White people don't know nothing about that because they never actually been made to face those consequences. But this one was this day. So shout out to this young black man opening up these Pokemon cards, creating this platform, this area of peace. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to you. And shout out to the dummy racist that decided to pull up and be the greatest example known to man online for everybody to see from now up until the end of time. Hopefully some people will take notes and not be so stupid, but I promise you, stupid is as stupid does, and somebody else is going to decide to do it even better. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that's stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.